Hey everybody, Excalibur here, and I've got another Kickstarter reward here. This one is from Eduardo Baraf of Pencil First Games, and I believe it's been a couple of months since I've got this. Sorry it's taken so long to do an unboxing. It's been very, very busy, but this, I believe, is Herbaceous or Herbaceous, depending on where you live and how you pronounce the word herb. Here in the United States, we call them herbs, but we're going to go with Herbaceous because I think that's how Edo has pronounced it. So inside, I don't think you can see the address or anything like that. So inside we've got flavor packs, and then we've got the actual game, a flavorful game by Steve Finn, Eduardo Baraf, and Beth Sobel. And we have an empty box. We can just check that. So, get that out of the way for now. So, we're going to open up the main box here first. So, it should have 72 herb cards, 16 container cards, 4 garden dividers, and 1 herb biscuit card. So all the links to everything will be in the description as always. And let's go ahead and use the knife of face maiming, which is starting to get a little dull. I'm going to have to get a new blade. So off to the side you go, face maimer. And get this wrapping off of here. There we go. Now this is very, very nice. It's got UV coating over the graphic elements, and this white part is nice and smooth. Very high quality box. I really like how shiny that is. It's a shiny box. I don't know if you can see it that well. There you go, a little bit. I'm using my LED light. Let's go ahead and open this puppy up. Tight box. It's for 1 to 4 players, 20 minutes, and 8 years old or older. So there we go. Here's the interior. We've got our instructions. We'll set those right there for now, and some quick instructions. We've got some punch out here, and then we've got the cards in the bottom. There we go. And pretty nice insert. It does not look like the insert will accept sleeves all that well. That's one thing that I have to look at a game. If you sleeve the cards, will they fit back in the insert? This is a big no, because there is very little room between the cards and the insert. Please take note that when you do a card game or a game that has cards, make sure that the wells that the cards go in are large enough to accommodate sleeves, because that's a big thing that goes on these days. Let's go ahead and we will dump that out. Other than that, the insert works very well. You can just slide your finger here and grab the cards. That's very nice. And it looks like there's more than enough room for these little posts to fit. So let's go ahead and we'll pull out go ahead and punch these out on camera. Why not? You see how badly I completely and utterly borked this up. So there we go. And they came out in big squares first. I don't know if that was an intended thing. I haven't looked at the rules. And then you punch them out of here. They come out pretty easy. It's a nice clean cut through. There's not much sprue residue on there, though you can see a little bit of nubbins here and there. And they do fit nicely right in there. And according to the back of the box, they should be the picket fence looking thing and not in this. So possibly the extra cuts around here were not necessary. Let's go ahead and just punch all of these out and put them in here so that we have them in the box. So since it's 4 players, it looks like there's 1 color per player. This is just a guess. I have not watched any how to play or anything like that. So here we go. Thank you very much. You have what I love to see on cellophane. The little wrapper pull So you can pull it off and get a nice clean pull. Unfortunately, right there, it's not behaving well, so I get the knife of face maiming and maim my face because I am a bork, a doofus. There we go. Right, throw that away. And there, slides them out. I usually keep these until cards are sleeved because then I can put the cards back in there and it keeps them from flying all over the box. So we have a bunch of cards. You can see we've got Sage and Tarragon. A lot of Tarragon. Wow. And then Mint. And due to my setup here, by the way, my recording software is right there. So, and that's Chives. And the backs are all the same, so you may have seen me go through something else. So that's Tarragon and Mint. We've got Chives, yeah, I mentioned that. We've got Time. Oh, I don't have Time, but there's Time anyway. Thank you for sending me Time, Edo. And then we've got white-backed cards, which are, looks like containers. So it tells you how many cards and points are available. So this one here shows 3 herbs that are not the same, and it looks like it can go on and on as long as they're all different. Up to 7 different herbs get you 14 points. This one, all that are equal, so running sets up to 7 copies. And then we have pairs for every set of pairs that you have. Here we've got number of cards in hand, maybe? I'll have to double check the iconography of that. And then it looks like the cards repeat. Let's see here. Yeah, the cards repeat. And it looks like it's 1 set of scoring cards per player. Yeah. And then here is our herb biscuit. 5 points for the first player to score a glass jar with 1 + 2 + 3. And then we have some game aids. We've got our containers, and then we've got our pot herbs, and then plant and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and set these aside. Let's take a look at the other herb cards. The artwork is fantastic. I really like the look of it. It sort of reminds me of like a botanical journal where somebody has drawn out the different leaves and everything. And so we have some more, and these are all herbs. We've got bay, we've got dill, and it looks like 7 of each. We've got lavender, yeah, and we've got rosemary, and then saffron, and finally the rest of the sage. So that makes 7 of each type of card. The instructions, and this is the tricky part, getting these cards back in without bending the cards or causing them to split. By the way, I did not mention they are linen finish, and they are pretty flexible, very nice quality cards. We have the instructions. It's a small booklet, which makes me happy because the smaller the booklet, the happier I am. It's got all of the game components, and then here's our setup and shows you how it all works out. And then we have our containers and the gameplay. So glass jar. Any 3 herb cards can be potted into this container. They can be the same or different. This container may include both special and regular herbs. So you plant, the game end, then there's a team variant, and then game end and scoring, and expert team play, and then finally the credits there. And then we have... oh, sorry, it's a solo variant. It's not a quick start. So it shows you how to play it solo. Maybe I'll do that for the channel and do a solo game from a top-down perspective with a better camera and better lighting and all that stuff, of course. So we'll set these aside. Let me go ahead and put these cards back in their cellophane so that we can keep them. By the way, it looks like these cards have suffered from the humidity issue that I've seen a lot of cards suffer from. The sage has already started to curl and bend, and it could be because my office has some humidity problems. It also could be that it wasn't manufactured equally on both sides. If you know what I'm saying, it wasn't cured properly on both sides, but we can find out more about that later. Now, something I did note is one well is enough to hold an entire stack, the entire game. But if it's sleeved, and you can get the sleeves to fit in here, again, I don't have any sleeves directly available. When I was saying that it is not... Why don't I throw those down on my keyboard? If you look in the well, there is barely any room from side to side and top to bottom. I mean, it can handle the thickness of sleeves, but in terms of everything else, that is going to be way too small. You need more than like a 1/4 centimeter in there in order for the cards to fit in properly with sleeves on. So here we go with this bonus pack. Let's go ahead and open it up. Where does it open? Over here. There we go. Now, let's see here. This has the Flavor Pack Mini Expansion to spice up your game of Herbaceous. Add in these 3 flavor cards. So, there are 3 cards. We have Cinnamon, and I can tell from the picture what that is. We have Star Anise. And we have, Peppercorn. And then we've got setup instructions and more setup and the drawing a flavor card, the rules. So when a flavor card is drawn, all players perform the action if they can, starting with the player who drew the flavor card. After the actions are performed, the player then discards the flavor card from the game and continues their normal turn. It does not, the flavor card does not count as a drawn herb or herb. Now, this is a little bit of an exaggeration here. Let me get these put in. There we go. This is way too large for a sleeve, so I can tell you right now that that is not going to fit in to the well, but we can put it in sideways. That's fine. So this is a very, very beautiful card game for 1 to 4 players. Let's make sure I get this box on there right. Yep. And Edo, Steve, and Beth, you guys did an outstanding job with the artwork. Just look at that artwork. Look how beautiful that is. And if it could go into wonderful focus, that would be great. So that has been Herbaceous. I backed this on Kickstarter, and I am very happy I did it. It is a very beautiful game. And thanks a lot, guys. This is by Pencil First Games, designed by Steve Finn, Eduardo Baraf, and Beth Sobel.